What's going on, everybody? This is GWReborn today. I have a Kurzick farm, an AFK or semi-AFK Kurzick farm. It's usually around 10 to 12 minutes long per run. Gonna go ahead and get started. This is at Altrumm Ruins, the Kurzick area right above House Suheltzer. I'm using a hero team. I actually made a video on 7 hero team. I'll be sure to put that playlist and the actual video from that in the description so you can watch that if you want to set up your heroes the way I have them. Not going to be focusing on the heroes today, focusing on the farm. So this is a very random farm that I've never seen on YouTube before. I don't think anybody's ever shared it before. It isn't the most optimal way to farm, but you literally can be AFK for 4 or 5 minutes in between, and you'll see later as I explain, and make faction without doing anything. You just set your heroes up, you get in a location. If you choose to bond, you don't have to. I'm using fallback for speed boost and life barrier from my monk. So any slash monk, you can use that skill on your heroes. My last previous AFK farm I also made, I'll be sure to put in the description as well, for a previous AFK farm that I made in another area. So you'd have to check that one out too. I feel like that one might be a little bit more optimal than this one, but it's a little more challenging. This one I did not struggle to die at all, because the enemies aren't as drastic. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the concept of Altrumm Ruins is to pick up amber chunks to get faction, and of course you get faction for every kill. So this is not going to be 100% you sit there, you set your heroes, and you leave, and you come back and you whenever you want. You actually have to be semi-AFK, so it is an AFK-able farm, but it's not going to be 100% because you have to come back to pick up the amber. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my heroes real quick. I've only done this a few times. This is the area that I found that worked optimal to me. You could potentially try this a few times in different areas in the map and get the gist of what you best realize is the best location to set your heroes, but this is where I put mine. So I flagged my ST Soul Twisting Ritualist back here where I'm going to stand. I put a frontline Mesmer on the left side and the right side barrier, and spawns occur every 20 to 35 seconds in this area. So what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and fast forward this for about 5 minutes and get back with y'all and show y'all what happens. Alright, had about a minute there to fast forward 2x speed, so you can see the raw amber chunks have generated. So now what I'm going to do is I use my speed boost. I prefer to use just fallback. You could add other ones in there as well. And you pick up the raw chunks. So this is where the semi-AFK reasoning is. You have to actually pick these up to get the extra faction. So you only get 1 faction if you only kill the enemy. And then you also get 15 faction per amber. So I'll usually, around the halfway mark, the 5.5 minute mark, I'll be AFK for 5 minutes after staging the heroes. Then I'll go ahead and try to pick up all the amber chunks that are around me. That'll take me around a minute, minute and a half, and then I'll go back to my spot and stand for a few more minutes, and then usually around the 1 minute mark, I will go ahead and finish picking up the amber chunks. And you'll go ahead and see at the end of the video how many faction, amber chunks, and all that I picked up in my score. I realize the score could be anywhere from around 70 to 120, being semi-AFK. Really depends on the spot you put them, how the flags are for your heroes, and really how fast your enemies are getting killed. So be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Guild Wars content such as this. Hope you all enjoyed this. Not the most optimal farm, but it works and is better than nothing. And you'll see at the end of the video how much faction I accrued. I have the little hero tab open so you can see the faction accrue as I get it. And stay tuned for more videos. Check out the link in the description for the other playlist of hero builds, as well as the other AFK Kurzick farm option that you could try as well. And I'll see you on the next one. I'll play some music overlay for the next few minutes, and let's find out how much faction I get at the end. And I'll see you on the next one. Alright, so I'm back. I'm finishing up that time mark right under a minute. So if you start right under a minute, you have enough time to pick up most of the amber chunks. If you start a little late, you end up missing some more factions. So about to find out how much faction at the end. Started right around the 1900 mark for faction. The end result we're about to find out after the bonus, and you make a little bit of gold and experience on this as well. So once this timer ends, you'll see the bonus depending on how many points you got and if you've done this before. And if you made a score over 100, you would also gain 100 faction cap to your title for your Kurzick faction title to boost your title. So there's the results. The results will vary right at almost 2,000 faction points for this AFK, semi-AFK farm. And this was just this round. Some rounds are a little more, some are a little less. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.